Hello everyone. This is Von West Virginia, and so I'm back once again. After being out for a little while. Glad that this computer and this camera is back on. So I thank God that I'm back on once again, and I'm sure that those last few videos that I put up were in many ways of blessing to so many people. And I definitely believe that that this type of information that I've been blessed to put out really has to go out and be heard. But one of the things I'm just gonna switch it up a little bit. Like for me, I'm definitely a big avid sports fan, and other than football and basketball, which I will talk about later on. I'm definitely for years I've been a fan of wrestling, of WWF, now known as WWE, of course, and one of the things that that one of the highlights for me as far as this year, was the return of Bret the Hitman Hart. After being out for 12 plus, 12 years and a couple months, so to speak, since that whole Survivor Series fiasco, whatever, in Montreal, which I thought was very, very low blow, definitely put, pretty much put a blackout, on the business, so to speak, as far as that's concerned. But not only that, but just to see him and Shawn Michaels stand toe to toe, face to face, in the ring together, after not speaking to each other, not even looking each other in the face, for so long, and and for them to bury the hatchet, especially on not only on Shawn's view, but especially for Bret, because on Shawn's DVD, they were saying that that Shawn was doing everything he could to bury the hatchet. And at that time, Bret really wasn't interested. So finally they put that behind him. But what I want to talk about it, just give a retrospect, so to speak, of the career of Bret the Hitman Hart. And to me, besides Shawn Michaels, Shawn and Bret are definitely two of the greatest. I'm not ashamed to admit that they're two of the greatest superstars in my view that I believe I've ever seen. And, as far as being, as far as just being a big match performer and stuff like that. As far as like athleticism, and just straight excitement. I would say, Shawn Michaels, will be the best for me. And as far as just pure technical, technical wrestling ability and submissions and just pure fundamentals, I would have to say Bret Hart. And that's the thing that I've constantly been a fan of Bret Hart, about is just his basic fundamentals and ring psychology, whatever you want to call it. And there are some people that want to call him overrated, good but not great. But at the same time, as a fan, I look back, and watch his matches, and see, he's somebody like that. He's pretty much like a surgeon, or a doctor. He has so many different ways to pick apart his opponent, and he's beaten the best of the best, the baddest of the baddest, strongest of the strongest. He's beaten, Undertaker, Diesel, who else I want to say, Vader, Bam Bam, Austin. As a matter of fact, I read that as far as like Bret versus Austin, Bret's never lost to Austin. He's never lost to Stone Cold Steve Austin. In that case, matter of fact, Austin himself, even gives credit to Bret, for helping him with that push in his career. And so, not only that, but as far as being being one of the smaller guys, so to speak, that's one of the other reasons I'm a fan of his, because he's a guy that that's around my size, like 6'1", 6'1.5", so anyway. But just to see somebody with that type of build, and that type of stamina, and someone that's able to keep the match, like very interesting, not too long, but enough to really make it a classic. And so some people probably think Bret is like 4 or 5 moves, sharpshooter, little elbow and things like that, but I've seen him pull off multiple moves. It may not have been all this off the top rope, but at the same time I believe there have been ways where he's been able to mix it up. And recently in one of these issues of WWE magazine, there was an issue a while back with John Cena on the front, and so but inside there's an article about the 25 most important wins in WWE history. The wins that that pretty much saved the company, and about, let me see. Right here. Yep. So the 25 biggest wins in WWE history, and at number 3, the match where Bret Hart defeats Ric Flair, for the WWF title. That was that was definitely one of the biggest wins of all time. The fact that Bret beating Ric Flair for his first championship ever, which was held in all places in Canada, in Saskatchewan, Canada. That was definitely ranked number 3 as far as the most important wins, in company history. And so, of course, the reason why was because of the fact that after Bret took a few steps to establish himself as as just a legitimate single star, of course, with the Intercontinental title and stuff. He proved his main event status by beating Ric Flair for the championship. And and by the way, this I believe this is like by the way, this is like Bret's first his first shot at the title. Because during during '92, during the earlier part of the year, while Flair and Macho Man were feuding over the belt, underneath the surface, Bret Hart was moving up the ranks and establishing himself as a legitimate single star, and that was of course by way of going through the Intercontinental title ranks. And he had his best Intercontinental championship matches that year. Of course, beat Roddy Piper at Roddy Piper WrestleMania 8, which to me was the best. Was definitely the best match throughout that whole WrestleMania. And then eventually at SummerSlam, at Wembley Stadium in Manchester, losing to the British Bulldog, which was definitely a great way to go out. And then of course all things just he just piled up one right after the other that year. He was just shooting right through the roof. And then next thing right after he lost to the Bulldog, 2 months later, of course, this is when he beats Ric Flair. And so he was influential in the sense of opening up the door for the smaller guys, smaller heavyweights, so to speak, to get have a better shot, to have a better shot at the title. And so in that way, Bret's definitely been a trailblazer. And so he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, and there will never be another like him.